For years now, I've been slowly building out my smart home setup like a lot of you. And as you can imagine, as a huge technology fan, I'm always looking for products that can make life easier. You can start simple with things like a smart light, security cameras, a video doorbell, which has become extremely popular these days, and also smart plugs, just to make your home more connected. Now, one of the biggest players within the space is Broadlink, who offered up their new smart switch, the TC3, as a replacement for a regular light switch in your house as a video collaboration. So I'm going to be attempting to install this, not electrocuting myself, and getting this set up to see what this has to offer and how it can make the lighting in my office here a little bit more smart. Before we get to the installation, let's take a look at what you get inside of the box. The Smart Switch is right on top, and this one is one of a few different options that they have. You can get models with 1, 2, or 3 different gangs, and I'll have links to all the different product options in the video description if you want to check them out. As you can see, this one here has 2 different gangs on it, despite the fact that the light that I'll be controlling can be controlled with a single light switch. And that's because the switches here can actually be programmed so that they can be used to control other smart devices in your house as well, such as the smart bulbs that I have in a couple of my lamps in my office. Inside the smaller box is a tiny little hub that's needed to connect the smart switch to the Broadlink app that makes all of the magic happen here. Now, I have to say that I'm typically not a fan of smart home products that do require a dedicated hub in order for them to work, but I'm giving this one a pass this time around for a couple of different reasons. First off, this is the smallest smart home hub that I've ever used. It's even smaller than the charger for my smartwatch and can be easily hidden away. The second is that the hub allows for the switch on the wall to be programmable, so it's doing a lot more than just turning on and off the hardwired lights in your room. And then third, and for me this is the most important, is that it allows the switch to be used in houses that don't have a neutral wire connection, something that a lot of smart switches need in order for them to work. If you live in an older house, there's a good chance that you don't have a neutral wire, which means you wouldn't be able to use some of the other products. In my house, it's 101 years old, so the Broadlink Smart Switch is one of the only options that will work for me, and since I'm not planning on rewiring my house anytime soon, this is the perfect option. With all that cleared up, let's get started with the installation. The first thing that we're going to need to do for this process is set up the hub itself. It comes with a pretty short USB-C cable, which is perfect for me since I'm going to be plugging it in directly into the power strip underneath my desk. Once the LED light starts flashing, we know it's up and running, so then we'll need to open up the Broadlink app and add a new device. Once it's connected to it successfully, it'll ask you for the Wi-Fi network that you'd like to connect it to and the password. This can take up to a minute or so be a little bit patient here. But once the LED stops flashing on the hub itself, this means that the connection was successful. So now onto the hard part. As always, when dealing with electrical wiring, you always want to make sure that you're safe by turning off the circuit breaker to ensure that there's no power flowing through the switch or the outlet that you're working with. And if you're still not comfortable with that, there's always the option of having a professional electrician install this for you. Other than that, all you'll need to do is remove the old switch from the wall, replacing it with the Broadlink Smart Switch, and making sure that you connect the wires appropriately as marked on the back of the switch. And then you're almost done. The last step to get this all working is pairing the switch with the hub. Make sure that the light switch is turned on for 1 to 2 minutes, and then from the Broadlink app on your phone, tap the plus icon in the top right-hand corner. Then tap Scan QR Code option, and then scan the QR code sticker that's on the front of the switch. This will pair the switch to the hub, and then all you have to do is select the room that the switch is going to be in, and then name the switch itself. And that's it for the hardware setup. But this is actually where the fun begins. The Broadlink Smart Switch can now be controlled directly from your smartphone, allowing you to turn it on or off anywhere in the world. Of course, it can also connect to Amazon's and Google's voice assistants so that you can control it with voice commands. And also, it has direct integration with If This Then That, so you can have ultimate control over your smart home setup. I have to say, it's always nice to be able to turn off your lights in your house automatically whenever your phone detects that you've left, especially when your wife and kids are still inside. The Broadlink app is pretty simple to operate as well if you want to use that directly, giving you a variety of different controls over the switches. You can set a variety of different schedules for when you want to turn the lights on or off throughout the day, or different days of the week, or simply a delayed off time. This one comes in extremely handy if you have a light switch on the far side of the room and don't want to walk through that room in the dark, or even if you have kids and have a bedside lamp by their bed that you want to turn off 10 to 15 minutes after you tuck them in at night. But having that second or even the third programmable switch on here is great as well. While I can't control the smart lights in my office with voice commands through Google Assistant, being able to simply open my door to my office, which is at the bottom of the stairs here, and turn them off manually at night helps keep the noise down, since my daughter's rooms are right there, and no one really wants to be shouting commands at Google Assistant at 11:30 at night anyways. If you happen to have smart plugs throughout your house, you can use that second switch to control those, or even Broadlink's Smart IR Blaster to turn on your surround sound system in your living room or control your music. And then, of course, there's the if this then that integration, which honestly allows you to be as creative as you want with the smart switch and how it controls the smart devices throughout your entire house. So you might be thinking that with all of these features, the hub, and the fact that you can install this thing without needing the neutral wire, that the Broadlink TC3 Smart Switch is going to be costing you an arm and a leg. Well, you would be correct if that arm and leg cost you $23, which is the base price for the single gang switch, going all the way up to $28 if you're looking for the triple gang option. I'd say that for the versatility you get out of this thing, it's definitely worth the asking price. Make sure you take a look at the video description to find links to the different options available. Thanks to Broadlink for sponsoring this video, and of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see our latest tech reviews and camera comparisons on our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.